Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You're so helpful. Oh, you're so helpful. Oh, that was... Thanks. Thanks.
So hiding behind Zoe there, that's Jaden. He's my awesome videographer when he's not working in his new job. I want him to get fired from his new job already so we can just hire him full-time. In any case, folks, we're here first thing in the morning. No one else is here, which I think is weirding both of us out. I was expecting there'd be a line of trucks with different animals already waiting in line to get inside, but I guess we're really ahead of the curve this morning, which is great. But you know that feeling where it makes you question if you're at the right place and all that sort of stuff. I know we're at the right place because I can feel all of my technology in that building over there. So kind of want to get in there and get set up. We're just waiting for that moment. So Jaden is coming in today because he's going to film B-roll or behind the scenes BTS, behind the scenes BTS of everything that we got going on here with the setup. It's been yesterday was breezy. I had like next to no issues yesterday of setting up everything, so that's cool. So hopefully everything will go okay without a hitch, and we'll be okie dokie. So fingers crossed. So once we figure out what's going on here, then we'll get inside and get this day started. Because right now we're just on hold until the gates open. No, I'm doing great. The setup went perfect yesterday. No sweat at all.
And was it nice to you?
Oh yeah, everyone was great. It's a piece of cake. And I did a little live stream and checked everything out, and
Okay.
I'm very pleased.
Nice RV. Did you buy it or did you lease it?
No, this is mine. It's a little camper my wife and I got, and I was like, you know what? It just makes sense for storage and making sure that everything's safe, and then at the same time it's air conditioned, so that means that the equipment while it's running doesn't overheat. Alright, so Ethernet cable, what we're doing that's really cool is we're running HDMI through an Ethernet cable, and there's a converter box. As soon as I tried it once, I had to buy a second one, and this converter box, you have to unfortunately power it at both ends, but the positive is you can then string it for like 160 feet before you have any loss of quality, which is super exciting. And also, that right there connects to the sound system of this whole building. So we can actually hear the sound system directly in the stream, which is even better because a lot of the presentation that's going to be done we're going to miss. Alright, things are super messy in here. I'm taking my mask off all the way while we're in here. Things are super messy in here because I didn't have time to organize everything that got kicked out yesterday. So what we're going to do first is we're going to run cables to my system over here. I have a screen and a laptop over here. The nice thing is, since all this stuff runs right in, all we got to do is run the cables directly behind my chair and I'm good to go. And so, when I come back here, this is going to be my place of operations here for the rest of the next 2 days. I have an audio system right here. He's doing sound tests. So I'll turn up my audio here. I'm going to go ahead and get my computer turned on. Yep, we're getting feed in. That's great. So here's the benefit of hiring a streaming service. When it comes down to it, there's multiple reasons why. First one is you're not going to be able to do what we do. We can add graphics, we can add effects, we can add in sponsor logos, we can do pretty much everything that you can imagine that would be done on a normal TV station. That's what makes it so cool. The thing is, a lot of people are like, well, live streaming, why would I hire someone to do that when I can do it with my phone? Because you can't do what we're doing, so. Okay, so let's get the camera up and running. So this one here is to run one of the cameras. This is one of the converter boxes. It's a transmitter from GoFanco, and that one's really, really cool. And then what we're gonna do is we need to run the HDMI cable out. So right here, tossed all over the floor because I had to throw it in last minute, is the crazy 75-foot long cable that I'm running for HDMI. And the thing that makes it different is it has a amplifier along the line. It doesn't need power; it powers itself, and that amplifier helps get the signal all the way full 75 feet. I don't need a whole 75 feet because I'm just running.
Go, Tim?
I believe so. I saw your test just now. It looks good. Thank you, sir.
Hey.
No growling. Okay. Let's go start with the other camera, and then we'll come back to this one. Ah, don't you love that smell?
Smell of
Rain.
mm-hmm.
Smell of rain is awesome. So, like I said, the only con to having this is that you have to power it, but the fact that you can simply plug it in and run directly to the battery, or directly to the camera, is really, really cool. So, I want just enough length here. There we go.
Oh, you got my number. Yeah. I'll be in town. I'll check back with you around
Okay, there we go. So HDMI in, right there, and that's going to lead to this box. So that's just a converter from Sony, whatever, it's like a mini HDMI to a full-size HDMI. And then right here, I have the Ethernet cable. This is a 100-foot Ethernet cable. And then since we're so close to this wall, just power it right there off the power supply. And that's all we need to do for that one. We'll go ahead and plug this into this box here so that we can run the battery, the camera off of this system. Cool! That's one and two. Let's go and hook up the other camera now. And let me check my cables here. Make sure that's not too long. There we go. Alright, next one is going to be Ethernet, the HDMI to the opposite camera. Yep, I'm forgetting a cable. I gotta get a converter cable for this camera. So, we'll go find that. And these lights here, what we might do is set up a third camera, and that's going to be an interview camera. That interview camera, you're going to have two lights to light the interviewees properly, and then what you can do is between all three of these cameras, you've got a full system for any obstacle that might come up. So, and the other thing is, I would kill to have Jaden here all day, but this guy is a commodity and is required in many other locations. So what's going to end up happening is I have to do all this myself. If we have a change in view of someone, if we have to change camera position or zoom or whatever, we can actually do all of that in stream. Instead of making adjustments to the camera, we can do everything in stream. Might pixelate slightly. Oh, hush, silly. Might pixelate slightly, but what we're actually doing is simply taking whatever image is there and zooming in and adjusting it to fit. So by getting a wide shot with this camera of the whole ring over here, we'll be able to zoom into parts of the ring if need be, and I don't have to do anything off camera. And then because we have the studio mode in OBS, which I need to talk about on our YouTube channel, that studio mode allows us to do a conversion from the previous scene to the next scene, looking very seamless. It looks very professional and not like, oh my gosh, things are going everywhere. I'll explain later today if I get a chance. All right. So this is a Cable Matters connector. Basically that is a amplifier, but also a barrel connector. You can power it if you need to off of a micro USB, but it also works the same way as the one that's on this cable. It powers itself sort of. And so I can just take this and making sure that my input goes to my input on this, my output goes to my output, which goes to that. There we go. And then what we got to do is plug in the HDMI, and we'll have feed for both cameras. What would help this even more, and it's down to only just not having the money yet, is to get 4K capture cards. Right now we're running 1080p capture cards, but with a 4K capture card we can use the full capability of our 4K cameras, which means we have 4 times the zoom without losing any quality at all, which is really exciting, but very expensive. So if you come over here to our computer over here, we should be fairly good to go. Let's go ahead and check our video now. So, let's see here. We're going to unplug and plug back in this feed. And hopefully my mouse will work. There we go. So, in OBS, we can just come here to the MyPin capture card, deactivate and reactivate it. And there we go. So now we have one of the live feeds. We'll go to the other one here, MyPin, deactivate and reactivate. And if all goes well, that camera, I maybe didn't turn that camera on, so I will double check that in a second. But so far all is well, and I've already done a lot of pre-built stuff here, so I can control everything, and then when it's time to go live, all I gotta do is transition it. This is what goes live online, this is what I'm seeing. So I can make adjustments over here to everything I want, and then send it online, which is really, really helpful. So, I just gotta go check on that one camera, and we're getting there. We're getting there real quick. I love when things go right. So many bugs. And it's all those little tiny red spiders. Not a fan of the little red spiders. They bleed a lot. So I gotta clean up all of this. Have you ever seen How to Train Your Dragon? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you know where he's like, just don't be all of that. Well, it's all of this. So I got some work ahead of me. That was a terrible joke. So, yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of organizing. The other thing I need to do is I need to program my Stream Deck, and it's going to run all of my stuff here individually. So I'm going to set it up so it can run all of the scenes and everything, so I don't have to do a lot of clicking. It will all be right here in the programmings. But good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 4-H, the livestock sale happening at the Expo Park right now. Welcome to our live stream. Right now, as you can see, we got some wonderful little contenders doing their thing around the ring. We're going to give it to the folks up front, and they can keep the show going for you here as things get kicked off here. Okay. We're good. For the moment, we're good. Looks like the stream is live. I'm breathing slightly easier at the moment, so we're okay for the moment. Now I'm noticing that the feed's jumpy, so I need to go through here and close out everything that I can and hope that I can get just a little bit of CPU power back. I'm hoping I don't have to restart the stream here at all. So far so good. And the tests yesterday were successful, so looks great. And here's the cool thing, we can take it to the zoomed in, and then what we can do is we can pose the camera where we think we need to, and as we pose the camera, then we can transition, and we'll get a nice close-up there as that happens. There we go. Alright, we're doing good. The unfortunate thing is it's super quiet. You can't... It's just way too quiet, so I'm very tempted to run a microphone or just run this microphone out the window or something and just get ambient audio of what's going on. It's actually a pretty darn good idea now that I'm thinking about it. So this is a nice thing. I can make whatever changes I want to make on one side, and then after I've made that change, then I can go fix everything from there, whatever I need to fix. Delete the schedule so I can edit that a bit more. There we go. So I can change my window, resize it, reproportion it, whatever I want to do to zoom in on whatever I want to, like right like that, and then I can just hit fade, and there you go. Now it's perfect. So that means I don't have to have Jaden here, so when he has to run off to work, we're not running a camera trying to do that. Okay, important note here, you and I both, Jaden, since that camera is actually on this trailer, us moving around is going to shake that camera, so we got to be really, really still as we're doing this. But I really want to put a microphone on top of that camera and plug it into the audio. I really want to do that. So
What about...
I'm gonna try. Perfect. That's exactly what I'm thinking of. So can I enlist you to do that? I'm gonna get video of you hopping up there doing that since you're lighter than I am. If you can reach it.
I should be able to, maybe.
Let's see. I'll take that. There's yours.
Is there anything on here?
Yeah. So you'll see the power supply on the side there. Plug it into the side.
Well, thanks everybody for having me today, and glad that you guys are able to have a show. I think it's really important for these kiddos to be able to get through their shows and have their projects, so really glad that that's happening.
Open up the door on the top. There's a door that flips open on the top.
Class to start out today on our first set of market lambs today. You know, really all lambs that are weighing pretty ideal for their brand size and pretty close to the end.
That's okay.
I'm going to start up here with this young lady with this bigger right here type of a lamb. These two lambs that are up here, you know, you can kind of flip and flop around depending on exactly what you're looking for. I do think that the lambs here in the first position balance up a little bit better for me. They're a lot stronger type of a lamb over its top. Definitely still has that thickness all the way. You know, we want to make it clear with his neck. We might make it a little bit wider over the top of that shoulder and more deeper down into his twist. But certainly a lamb that I just really like how he balances on the side profile. And a lamb that just has a really nice strong top. And I think a nice job to her for finishing out a lamb that's where he needs to be today. The young lady off of his shoulder.
Bigger in his frame. I also wish that he was just a little cleaner in his neck set. He gets a little where they're at. You like the rib shape in this lamb. Just like to see a little bit better muscle shape all the way throughout in this lamb. If we could put him wider over the top of his shoulder and deeper down into his twist, that would really help this lamb out a lot.
Look at this. There are literally two spiders just randomly crawling together across my screen here.
And we'll be able to today as well.
What is up with all these spiders? They're everywhere. When we get into the mix of things, it just gets really quiet in here because we're focused on what we're doing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
To be finished yet, and just a few things we've changed. I think the young man that comes next, once again, super like this guy. All right, that is our 2020 Market Goat class for the Cascade County 4-H Livestock Show and Sale. Red ribbons go to Trent Leardini from Old Fishkin and James Lewis, also from the Old Fishkin 4-H Club. Blue ribbons, 4-H Club. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, on a job well done raising a set of goats. Again, if you are joining us via Facebook Live and you would like to or know somebody who needs a goat in their freezer, they can fill their freezer by registering the process, again, at MontanaCattleConnections.com. Our next class is going to be our senior showmanship class. We'll move into intermediate and junior, and then we'll do the same with our market goat, or with our showmanship classes for the goats. Again, welcome to the 2020 Cascade County 4-H Livestock Show and Sale. We wish you were here in person, but we appreciate you joining us on Facebook Live.
All right, there we go. That'll work. So a whole day has gone by without incident. That would be a lie. So the live stream has done really, really, really well. I'm impressed. We've done 2 live streams so far. One of them has gone to 711 views, doing very, very well. It's one of the beautiful things of working with a company that's known in comparison to making YouTube videos and trying to garner that interest. If you already have that interest, you're going to have good viewership. So that's wonderful. The unfortunate thing that happened was I jumped up onto my trailer to adjust my camera. Oh, let me check this out real quick. Okay. So I jumped up on the trailer to change one of the camera settings, and my foot slipped, and I did. I just plummeted right into my trailer hitch, and so for starters, you can't really see much, but this whole part of my hand right now is numb. This whole thing here. I squarely smacked that, and you can see that there's a blood blister there. Obviously it doesn't look like much, but man, it's hurting. I kind of wondered if I'd broken my wrist. That isn't the worst part though, and I'm sorry, I'm going to show you this. And I got to carefully roll up my pants because it's just a bit sore. I did, however, manage to do this right here. So that right there, just square into the metal. That was fun. And then I got another blood blister on the other leg, but yeah, that was, and it stings so bad. But yeah, so when it comes to it, that is probably the first time I've fallen since I was maybe like 15 years old. Oh, okay, I've fallen, if you guys watched my video of me trying to do snowboarding, I've fallen, but I've never, but falling when you're snowboarding, that's expected. This kind of a fall happened out in the middle of nowhere, and it hurt. Not out in the middle of nowhere, I mean it happened out of nowhere. I'm only just starting to get to know Jaden, but when it comes down to it, he's great, and behind the camera, he does a wonderful job. But then he sat behind my streaming computer, and he just killed it. He knows what I'm looking for, he knows exactly what to do. I was truly impressed, and there we go. So everyone's walking away happy, slightly more bruised, but so far so good. It's 2:30, we're about to move into the next part of the show, and my wife is going to show up because I kind of really busted myself up. So she's going to come and help me break things apart when it's time to shut down for the evening. So hopefully that'll go okay, and it'll be nice to have the wifey here for a little while. But so far so good. This has gone incredibly well.